Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, the one and only Taint has responded to our challenge, which our challenge is pretty much one of the hardest challenges I can think of because it's open to interpretation and lots of people have lots of opinions. But honestly, I don't care about too many people's opinions, but I do care about Taint's opinions and his thought process. So today we are going to be doing hero tier list. This is late game / whale status, like actual whale status, and it's going to be Taint's version or idea as far as a hero tier list for where he's at in the game. So we will go through now, just like the one that I did. This is not a race specific thing. It's purely based on the utility of the individual hero. So that means if we're talking about Gazool, of course for Lich, Gazool is going to be an S-class hero. But for other races, he's just not important. So race-based heroes are of course S-ranked for their individual race, but this is just a general overview and has nothing to do with race specific. That being said, we have 4 different categories. We have the S tier, the A tier, the B, and the C. So for the S tier, that's going to primarily be your super overpowered, crazy awesome heroes that you just can't live without. You'll typically tailor your entire gameplay to these types of heroes, or these heroes just dictate the battle completely. Your A class are fantastic heroes. They might not be as noticeable or as directly impactful as the S tier, but they're still extremely good heroes. The B class, these heroes, they're okay. You might use them in every battle, but they're okay. Their overwhelming presence might not be overwhelming. They might just be there and have vital utility, but not nearly as impactful or not as big and flashy as the other heroes. The C tier, which is our bottom tier, that is actually going to be like, we're not using this hero, we're not deploying them, and they could probably use a rework and or a buff. So before we fully jump in, we want to welcome Taint to the challenge and for stepping up to this challenge.
What's going on, man? I'm happy to do it. This is actually a really good idea. This is kind of fun. I'm looking forward to this.
I've been terrified because like everyone has opinions, so no matter what you do, somebody's going to be like, no, it should be like this. So I figure it's a really good conversation starter, at least.
Tell them to come catch me in the Capitol. How about that?
All right, so let's jump on in because I believe we have 32 heroes now, unless I am missing one. So we will start off with the free heroes that you acquire just from playing the game and or the Void. So the first one that comes to mind is actually going to be Avril. So where would you rate Avril and why?
Avril is my number 1 hero. She is S tier. So for me, where I'm at in the game, Avril can completely decimate an enemy's army in PvP, kill heroes, kill troops, wall off a dragon long enough to stop it from charging. She's good for events. She's good for everything. And what makes her that good is the combination of prisms and the hero mastery. It just makes her like god tier good.
That tier 8 arcane.
Yes, it is disgustingly good. Especially when you can use 6 skills on her, it's just dumb. You can just burn everything.
That's crazy. So Avril is definitely one that I'm looking forward to as I progress forward to see shine. Now, speaking of heroes that shine, our next free hero, really interesting hero. He actually looks a lot like me. I gotta say, Lilith did a great job designing this hero based on me. Their name is Rufio. So where would you rank Rufio and why?
I would place him in the S tier behind Avril. He's very good with wave power in the Leo's Pride. He can wipe out ranged troops and heroes. He can kill dragons. But his range and his ability to use multiple skills isn't quite as good as Avril. And he doesn't do well in events like Avril can. So that's why I place him behind her. But he's still a must-have S tier hero.
Gotcha. So Rufio is still huge. Now, um, this is where they start becoming a little bit tougher because they are race-based heroes. However, they do have other abilities and uses. So where would you place Avalon?
Probably in B. So for me, not counting race-specific reasons, he provides extra army cap and lets you deploy an extra unit for like void stages and stuff. But other than that, he doesn't provide any real tangible benefit outside of race-specific stuff for me. So I put him in the B class.
Gotcha. In now a tough one because I'm actually really curious as to where you put this. Vega.
Vega, I would put in the C class. She needs a rework. Her healing doesn't match the game state as it is currently. And again, outside of her race specific, Vega does jack squat. Like she doesn't provide anything. Like you're never gonna use her heal in your skill order over like 10 other things. So while she's a sage and she provides sage bonuses from hero research and stuff like that, she's not even a good utility hero, honestly. She's kind of fallen completely off.
Gotcha. And now, what about for Gazool?
Gazool, I would put in the B class because he can provide that fearsome aura, which again, it affects your side and the enemy side, but he's good for multiple races, not just one race, because, Sylph, Dwarf running mech tank back in the day could use him, and of course, Lich. He's also good for Void whenever you're trying to fight humanoid units in the Void. He can help you, like, pass levels and stuff. So he has a little more utility than the others, so I'd still put him in the B class.
Now this one breaks my heart because I was so excited to get his skin for plus 5% more attack. Where would you rank Makko?
He would be in the C class. He needs a rework too. He used to be powerhouse. He used to be really good, but even for like events that are hero based only now, like he just doesn't keep up. Like he's got great range, his damage per second, even with artifacts and prisms, it's just not good.
And speaking of artifacts and or prisms, where would you put Nora?
Nora is S class. She would be after Rufio. Yeah, probably. No, I would put her in the 4th slot for S class. She's S class, but she would be like 4th in importance for me.
Interesting. So I'm going to try and get the slots, at least for the S class, in order for you. And what about for Varian? Where would you place Varian?
Varian, I would place in the A class because he great for his own race, but he's also a solid tank. Like he gives Crusader's shield to every humanoid unit. It doesn't matter if you're a Khan or Sylph, Dwarf, all of them. Like you get that Crusader shield, and then again, like I said, he's a solid tank. Like he self heals, gets his own mitigation shield. Like he's all around a solid frontline hero, whether you're playing human or not.
And absolutely. And this next one, I really do like. I can't wait till I can like use him. It's going to take forever, but Raxius.
Raxius is also an A class hero. He isn't a must use. You can alternate using him or Avril with mantra beads, but he's definitely an A class hero. He's just good. There's no other way around. He's just good. He's good for siege. He's good for events. He's good for PvP. He's a solid hero.
And for our next one, he's kind of a midget. So where do you think that you would put Grims?
Grims is a C class hero. Nobody, like everything that he used to support in the game, nobody uses anymore. Nobody uses siege weapons. I mean, he's a general, which means he provides those buffs for research and stuff. But unless you're playing dwarf, you're not going to deploy him. He's just not good.
I am so glad that you said that because at this point in time, Taint has not seen my version, and I pretty much said the same thing with Grims. I was like, 3 out of all of his skills are completely useless, but I'm happy you said that. So for our very last free hero, we end with Gann.
Gann is an A-class hero. He provides an amazing skill called Nature's Blessing. It doesn't matter what race you play because it affects your dragon. It heals your dragon for free every 10 seconds based on a percentage of its max health, which can be bonkers depending on what level your dragon is, what abilities you have. If it's in your garrison, it has even more health, so it's just healing for massive chunks. You can pair it with Hero Mastery, so then his healing efficiency goes up 40% whenever that unit's health is below 20%. It's just crazy. He's a very solid hero. Also, he has good crowd control with Earthquake and Thorns.
Oh, awesome. In this next one, I feel like I don't even need to ask because I have a feeling that they are automatically S-class. But because we're getting your thoughts, for this S-class hero, where would you put Rose?
Rose is going to be a C. She's going to be a C. She's a... her size is a hindrance because she's one of those 9x9 or 9x9 square heroes. So she's massive. She's like a mana worm or talk or whatever, and she supports a unit that's not used. Her other abilities like the spiderlings aren't relevant anymore. They don't do enough damage. They don't tank enough damage. They don't distract well. And then her web ability, while good, again, I just can't see myself forcing that skill in my sequence in a PvP fight to be like using that web was beneficial. Like I just can't.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So for this this next one, where would you place Cleo?
See, her vortex ability, I think, doesn't do any damage, even if you try to like give it like Tier 8 Arcane. And while the crowd control is kind of good, again, dedicating a skill for it in a skill sequence isn't worth it when you can get that for free from a dragon. And again, with all the things in the game now that reduce crowd control time, she pops off her black hole and it lasts like 3 seconds, and it's like a wasted skill. So it's just not good.
And absolutely. And this next one, again, probably a no-brainer S-class, but where would you put Sprig?
I would place Sprig in the C class. Unfortunately, he could almost be B class if his other skills were tweaked a little bit to be a little bit better. Because he is a rogue, he does solid pinpoint damage. Like with his ability, the damage will stack and get stronger as he targets the same thing. It just needs a little tweaking to make it impactful enough to actually deploy him.
Gotcha. And that makes makes a lot of sense. Poor Sprig. Now we're going to move into some more fun heroes, some more unique ones. So for some of the more unique ones, where would you put Ophidia?
She is S class and she is the 3rd ranked hero. She is just disgustingly good. You put the Codex on her for poison. You put Spirit Fracture Prism on her. She'll kill dragons. She'll kill heroes. She's good for events. She's good for everything. She's just a solid hero. But she's not placed higher in the order for S rank because she takes time to build to that point where she's lethal, whereas Rufio and Avril are immediate return on use. They kill stuff. Ophidia takes time.
Yeah, gotcha. And this next one is also a relatively unique champion. Where would you place Fenris?
Fenris, for me, I would place in probably the B class at my level of play. Like, his wolves are kind of distracting still, but they literally, no matter how you spec him, they spawn and immediately die. They don't tank any damage, so like their distraction ability is not very great. I put him in the B class though because he's good at holding the Ring of Ragnar and a Prism because he stays all the way in the back and will not move forward. That's the only reason he's not a C.
Gotcha. So he still has some good utility. He's like Frodo. He's the designated ring carrier. So for the next one, where would you place Madrix?
Madrix would be. I'd probably still keep him in the S class. I'd probably keep him in S class because again, if he survives to get his bat splits off, he can help swing the tide of a battle. He does decent damage on his own fighting in PvP. He's good for events. I still keep him in S class. And he doesn't have to have a prism to be good either. He can run around with just an artifact and still be solid.
Okay, gotcha. And now, totally different type of hero. One of the really unique heroes for their role in the battles. Where would he place Flora's?
Flora's, I would place as an A class. She's good support, but her support is a slow support, so she does things over time. So the longer the battle goes, the better she is. Her immediate return on like investment, quote unquote, in a battle isn't apparent at the beginning, besides the ability to bless one of your like glass cannon heroes with a free revive guaranteed.
Gotcha. And this next one, he's a cute little guy. Where would you place Yep?
Probably B class. Actually, I honestly C class. C class. Because if you're not playing human, he's garbage. He doesn't do anything.
Interesting. So, um, okay, so C class for Yip. I did not see that one coming. I really didn't, because he's good going up against humans and also the rock and archers, and he's relatively safe for the general sage buffs.
Yeah, but while he has all of those things, there's other heroes that have those things, and they also provide good ability or utilities. Like his Cyclone ability can be good, but after using it several times, like it's rare that it actually picks up the stuff you want it to pick up and stun. Like he's just Tailwind's a cool skill, but I don't need him for the Enlightenment at my level. All my heroes are max level, so it's like Tailwind's all he offers for me. I would rather deploy a different Sage or General or whatever. Like,
And
yeah, just not enough.
well, in that makes sense. I cannot comprehend your level of play, so that makes a lot of sense. So for this next one, this is going to hurt me a lot more than you. Where would you place Jax?
C class. He just doesn't do anything for me. I don't even deploy him. I haven't deployed Jax in a PvP formation in probably 6 months at least, if not longer.
Poor Jax. So hopefully this next hero fares a little bit better than Jax. How would you rate Talk?
Talk is an A class hero. He's a solid support all the way around for everything in the game. Doesn't matter what race you are. He is just good.
Let's go Talk. This next one again, Lilith hand sculpted this hero while looking at my thumbnails naturally. Where would you rate Bane?
Bane's an A class hero. He's a solid tank. He deals decent damage. He distracts the enemy. He's good for void. He's good for siege. He's a solid hero. You can also put a prism on him and almost guarantee that it'll last, a solid portion of the battle, whatever's on him, because he doesn't die easily.
Let's go Bane. So for this next one, where would you place in rate Cizeo?
For me, he's an S class hero. So with devastating strike, prism, and the shuriken artifact, I place him near my dragon. That way, whenever the enemy tries to spin in with their Rufio to kill my dragon, he can take out the Rufio relatively quickly because the Clash of Fate set reduces the target's healing efficiency, so Rufio's not able to keep regaining his health quickly.
That's huge. And for the next one, we all love him. He is somehow never dizzy. But where would you place Stenji?
He's an A-class hero. Solid gladiator, good DPS. He's good for holding a front line at bay with his spinning ability. If you meet dumpling him, he's awesome on siege. He's a good hero.
And for this next one, another gladiator that comes to mind, Gaffgar.
Gaffgar, I would place as a C-class hero. While he does have good defensive capabilities with his auto shield for the first 20 seconds, after that, he doesn't really do anything. Like, he doesn't have any other abilities that make him meaningful in battle if you aren't playing race specific. He doesn't like self-sustain automatically. He has an ability he can use to repair himself, but I'm never going to do that in a battle. Like, I'm not going to consciously, like, I got to repair my one hero with an ability skill. It's not going to happen.
Gotcha. And for this next one, if the Arcane Tier 8 worked on this hero, would probably be hands down the best hero in the game, but fortunately it does not. So, Mr. Taint, where would you place Tyrdon on this list?
Tyrdon's a C-class hero. She's a paladin, and she does not perform like a paladin. She's not tanky. She doesn't self-sustain well. She dies quickly. She rushes forward. All of her abilities have become basically obsolete in the game. Like, she's due for a massive rework and change. She's just not good. I love her. She used to be my favorite hero. Everything about her I like. The way she looks, her abilities sounded cool. She still hasn't gotten a hero skin. Like, if Lilith watches this, you really need to change and like improve Tyrdon.
Tyrdon just needs some love, and a lot of love.
100%. Great hero, treated like trash.
Oh, poor Tyrdon. Since we're on female paladins, where would you put Lunella?
As an A-class hero, she's got great abilities, great support. Her ability to jump to the back line, you can set her up with trinkets, so while she's at the front, with the banner artifact, she protects the front line. Then you can put the harp trinket and the healing ring trinket on her. So when she jumps back and she sits around your archers, she keeps pumping them with extra healing. So she's a very good hero. She's also a safe bet for prisms because she typically survives for a long time when she jumps in defense mode.
Gotcha. So it definitely seems like having the utility of staying alive it is super important as far as priorities for you.
For certain prisms, yes. So like there's some prisms that have like at the start of battle effects, they do their thing. It doesn't matter if the hero dies, it's whatever. And then there's certain prisms that as long as the hero is up, you keep getting that bonus is maintained. Once they die, that bonus drops off. So you got to be really smart in where you place your prisms based on what they do.
Gotcha. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Well, this next hero, I'm sure, is beyond an S class. We have Valarie.
She is a C class. She has the potential to be very good, but her ability when you cast it, it's a one-time cast. So wave power doesn't do a lot. Arcanist Fury, it's okay, but it doesn't translate into meaningful damage with the amount of magic resistance and healing that's in the game. You would think she would do amazing. She's just missing something to make her good. She could be great. She just doesn't have it right now.
Gotcha. Now, this next one, no lie, has been my favorite hero my entire time of Art of Conquest, much like how Tyrdon would be essentially Taint's girl. This one, my favorite. Where would you put Elena?
She's S class for the simple fact that if you don't have magic resistance, you lose. Straight up. Like you have to deploy her in everything. Also, her retreat ability is good because if you're getting your butt kicked, you can retreat your troops and save them for the next fight.
And absolutely. Now, this next one was once featured in a movie called The Smurfs. However, since retiring from the Smurfs, he has come to Art of Conquest, and his name is Belrog. So where would you place Belrog?
Belrog I would place as an S-class hero. So Belrog's S-class because of the fact that he is immensely hard to kill. He will protect whatever prism he is carrying, and then his abilities are super good. He stuns things. He has the overawe, which slows small units, and every race's small units, besides Sylph that uses mushrooms, are their DPS units. So warlocks, snipers, archers, crossbows, and then their front lines also are typically small units. Besides Dwarf, he uses mech. He's extremely good for Void and Siege, like everything. He's just great.
And I remember the days of watching your replays where it would just be like a Belrog that's tanking a dragon, a Jax spraying him straight in the face, and still just would not die. It's beautiful to think about. And while we're on the topic of not dying, where would you place Solaris?
S-class. He holds a prism well. He can survive death for a long time. He can hold down and defend an entire section of your formation. Like he's too good. He's so good. And then with the newer artifact that came out, the Gauntlet, he can get some decent damage in there, but he's not really there for damage. He's the best defensive unit you can deploy for your front line, basically.
Just literally cannot die for 14 seconds. So this next one and the last one, I actually skipped this one on mine because as I tell you guys, I solely do this based on my experience, and I have no experience because I've never used this hero. So for the first time, we will be able to place it somewhere based off of Taint's ranking, and it's the last hero that we have. Where would you place Myra?
So Myra's kind of a conundrum. Like when you look at battle reports, she shows like this crazy healing numbers, and she has these units that she summons, that she deploys, that they can be killed, but most of the time they never die because things won't target them, even though they can. I honestly don't know, bro. Like it's hard to say. Like she doesn't have a really good artifact to dedicate to her to see potential. I tried using different prisms on her for damage. It didn't really seem to make a difference. I tried upping her attack speed. I would probably place her at a C class. Like she doesn't fit a specific role right now, other than the fact that she hangs out in the back and she can hold a prism a long time. But outside of that, she just doesn't. She does a lot of things okay, but she doesn't do anything exceptional.
Gotcha. So that should be all of the heroes. So for Taint's S class, and if you have any last minute switches, just let me know. We have Avril, Rufio, Ophidia, Nora, Bazric, Cizeo, Elena, because she's the best. Belrog, Solaris. So those are all just exceptional heroes. Every hero is unique, but for the A class, we have Varian, Raxius, Gann, Floras, Talk, Bane, Stenji, and Lunella. For B class, we have Avalon, Gazool, and Fenris. And for C class, we have the Forgotten Souls. We have Vega, Makko. This is like the ones that used to be good. Vega, Makko, Grims, Rose, Cleo, Sprig, Yip, Jax, Gaffgar, Tyrdon, Valarie, and Myra.
Yep, sounds good to me.
How hard was that to do?
Not terribly hard because like when you're building formations, like you really have to like pick and choose your heroes wisely. And those ones in the C class, when I go to build a formation, I don't even look at them or think about deploying them most of the time, unless it's race specific. If it's race specific, like Vega, I use Saints in my PvP formation. Well, so Vega's there because she makes my Saints better. But if I wasn't playing it, no chance.
Gotcha. I am pretty excited for you to see the one. So this will be out, by the way, guys, on Wednesday. The one that I did for the early mid game will be out on Tuesday. Yesterday, if you're watching this now, I can't wait for Taint to see that one because some of the rationales are pretty spot on. It's kind of funny, but if we compare this to the one that I did yesterday, you can see that the further you progress in the game, as you get hero mastery, as you get prisms, as you get I'm blanking on one other thing that affects the heroes. Hero mastery,
research.
Yes, the research. Thank you. As you get all of those, the value that you get from your gladiators and paladins goes up exponentially. Early on in the game, like Belrog is just going to roll over. He doesn't have enough skill points. He doesn't have enough base health to really survive much, and is all about the S classes pretty much being really high damage minus Elena and but it's really damage focused, whereas it still looks like it is damage focused from Taint's S heroes, but you can see the emergence of gladiators being up there along with Elena, and also a lot more in the A class as far as Lunella's there, Denji, Bane. Those are all really, really Varian, of course. A bigger progression as far as those tanky heroes and being able to do more with your heroes and be more hero reliant. So I don't know if Taint can kind of explain how important heroes are or how heroes interact with troops and trying to find that balance of utility.
So heroes, obviously, the higher level you become and the more research and like temple's the big thing. So the more temple you have, and like prisms are like a secondary temple, all of those things directly impact your heroes, which make them bonkers strong. So the higher level players, their heroes are basically their secondary army. Like I can field only heroes and beat people who are like 10, 11 million core power with just my heroes and no troops.
That's insane. I saw you sent me a couple of the replays where it was just ridiculous to watch.
And before the pets were super strong, my pet's much stronger now than it was then. So like the pets make it even like more strong. Like so, heroes are definitely a powerhouse at higher levels. At the lower levels, I can understand why heroes are ranked less like or differently because you need burst damage essentially because none of your stuff is going to survive a long battle.
Yeah, and I think I still had Ophidia up really high in solely because the second that she gets Ring of Ragnar, for like that mid game point, like your first shake, you hit Ring of Ragnar, you throw on the three pieces from the dragon set on her for the increased damage, like you will literally instantly see her blow up everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, and her damage goes up the higher or the lower her health gets. So yeah, early mid game Ring of Ragnar on Ophidia is potent.
It's pretty wild. But for the sake of video time and everything, I if you guys have questions for Taint, put them in the comment section here, and it will be much easier for me to track if you put it in this video. So I have not asked Taint this yet. I probably should have, but put your questions for Taint here, or bring them to the live stream because I'm just running around losing every battle I get in. Taint needs questions to answer. But if you have questions for him, put it in the comment of this video. And what we'll do is maybe next week or maybe the week after, I'm kind of hoping maybe something weekly, we can kind of check in with Taint, get his thoughts on his view of Art of Conquest, because I'm still doing like Void Stage 60. So it's a totally different game than what a lot of you guys are playing. So if you guys want another thought or another perspective of the game from somebody that's far more knowledgeable, maybe we can do like a weekly check-in with Taint, ask him a bunch of questions. So I'll ask him if he's up for that. But if you guys have questions for him, put it in the comment section of this video so I can easily find it, and maybe next week I can meet up with him and read off a bunch of questions and get in-depth answers for you guys. Also, would you be up for doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give my opinion. Again, it's just an opinion. Like, I'm not by any means the best person at this game. I still get my butt kicked thoroughly on a regular basis. So, I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
Awesome. And yeah, no pressure. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I was just thinking of it. But it would be cool. But anyways, I'm going to keep rambling. You'll keep rambling, and we need to end the video. So with that, guys, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Ask Taint any question that your heart desires. The more juicy, the better. Maybe bring up Tyrdon with some questions about that and him. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Share this with your friends and your housemates. They will love it. And Taint, thank you very, very much for coming on as always. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.